guys, and welcome back to another episode of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. And the final episode of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, because this is the 100% completion episode of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. I've said Avatar Frontiers of Pandora 4 times now. But anyway, I'm pretty sure the last thing I need to do is just get this one base, and then that is it. I have 100% completed the game. So let's go ahead and do that together, shall we?
Ready to ride?
Of course. You have to do so many of these bases to the point where I probably know how to do this exactly already. And it's going to be pretty boring for me, but it might be a little bit different for you. But we'll get to like my final rating of the game and all later. Right now, we must focus and get that platinum trophy.
I should...
Nope. How'd that turn me around? Alright. And I don't even need to turn off the poison, because my elemental resistance is absolutely crazy. Oh, and that's it. Nice. Well, that was easy. Reclaim Pandora. And then 100% completion. Song of the Silent Two. That is the platinum 100% completion trophy. Alright, and that, my friends, is it. That is 100% completion of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Well, do I have quite a bit to say about this game. So, some trophies, fun, some trophies not so fun. The most annoying trophies, I have to say, were the audio message and the notes trophies, because they're just so, you know, it's so like weird to actually find.
Unbelievable. For the first time we can see Pandora at its pristine, full strength. And it's beautiful. You know, we humans used to believe that life will always find a way to preserve itself. Well, it didn't work out back on Earth. Turns out life won't find a way if we don't act out.
Life finds a way.
I wish we'd fought this hard for Earth when we had the chance. But it feels good to know we could do something here.
100%.
Something real. Thank you for making it happen.
Right, as I said, they're so just like insignificant and all, to the point where it's like you have to probably find a lot of them, and they're just scattered all over the place, and it's really annoying and stupid. So yeah. They're not too hard, it's just like they're so insignificant you're gonna have to get a lot of them. So yeah. Anyway, that's just the trophies I probably hated doing the most. Of course, there were other trophies that were just like a bit repetitive. But then again, that's kind of how this game started to become. Like, that was just one of those bases that I had to do. You have to do every single outpost and all to get 100% completion. And, well, let's just say after like the 10th base of doing the exact same thing, it's a little bit boring. Now, obviously, they have different ways of completing it. They have like 3 to 5 different ways of completing the actual base, but at the end of the day, it's kind of just a recycled thing over and over and over again. And I think it goes for like, I don't know, like 30, maybe 50 bases. That might be a bit of an over exaggeration, but like, I mean, that's how it felt for me anyway. So yeah, but basically, after that, it was like, after like the first 10, it got a bit boring, and it was like, yeah, okay, come on. I don't really want to be doing this anymore, but like, you kind of have to in order to 100% the game. Sorry, that was a little bit cut there. Yeah, so that would be my, there's a, that's kind of the main nitpick, is just the repetitiveness of this game. Like, after a while, it just gets super repetitive, and then it can kind of get boring. But I will say, exploring Pandora is really fun because the visual aspect of this game is really good. Like, I mean, just the the sheer size of the map of Pandora makes me think that this is a fulfilling game for exploration. And like visually, it's an amazing game, and the sound design is very good as well. Like, I mean, I felt like I was actually exploring Pandora, which was fun. Um, so yeah, but like, I mean, visuals isn't everything. You also have to account for gameplay and story. The story was a bit dull. Um, it kind of dragged on a little bit for me, and then towards the end, it was just like, yeah, okay, come on, let's just kind of wrap this up. The final mission was pretty fun. It's just at the end of the day, it was just the same thing. Like, go into a base, kill everything, and destroy the base or whatever. Now, obviously, there was story behind the base, so it was a little bit different, but like at the end of the day, it was the same premise. So yeah, the characters were a bit dull for me as well, especially the main character. Like, I didn't really feel like I wanted to continue the story for the main character, mainly because you never see them, you don't know their name, and you honestly don't feel a connection to the main character whatsoever. You kind of just feel obligated to do the missions, and you don't even know who your main character is. So yeah, um, so that's like my only nitpicks for the story. It's a pretty fun story, and it's a fun game. It's just story's a bit dull and it drags on a little bit, but like, I mean, it's still a story worth telling, I'd say. Gameplay for me runs smoothly. It's a really good game. I mean, it's the PS5. Any game on the PS5 runs smoothly and it's perfect. Loading times are pretty fast. Combats. See, here's the thing. The sound design of the bows and just the combat with the bows and all is so good. Like, they've nailed bows in this game. Like, it is honestly perfect. The sound design is incredible. The combat with the bows is incredible. It's just, again, it comes back to that repetitiveness of just, by the way, that's the only way to combat in this game. The only way to actually have combat in this game is to shoot with your bow, and you're most likely going to use the same bow over and over again because you enjoy it or whatever. And so it's like, it's fun, it's just it gets a little bit boring after a while because there's nothing to really separate the combat up a little bit. No, it's just the exact same thing, just shoot with your bow. You can punch, but it's like, you can't really, let's be honest here, unless you're doing it to like the humans. Speaking of enemies, There is a little bit of variety between the enemies, but it's basically the same thing over and over again. It's basically just humans and the AMPs, is it? Or the AMPs? I can't. Hmm. Characters, or the A. I don't think it's going to tell me. I think, yeah, I think they're called AMPs. The RDA amps, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they are. It's 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 the combat's fun. It's just it gets a bit repetitive after a while, and especially with the lack of variety in enemies, there's a bit of variety with like the flame amps and the grenadier amps, but like at the end of the day, it's basically just the same thing, only with like a different aspect to it. But there's only like 3 or 4 different amps, and then anything else is just a harder version of the regular amp. So yeah. I mean, other than that, the game is really fun. I will say the traversal. I love flying around on the Ikran. Uh, Once you get it, that's basically the only thing you're going to be doing for traversal in this game. So, you know, it kind of has to be good, and it was pretty good. It was fulfilling having the traversal in the game. I will say most of the game, it was just me fast traveling, just because I didn't really want to fly like 15 kilometers. No, most of the game is kind of just fast traveling and then getting on your Ikran and flying to the point where you want to go. Off your Ikran, the traversal's kind of bad because, you know, you don't feel like a Navi, like you're not fast. The parkour is fluid. I will say the parkour is amazing because it just feels right and it's very fluid and it just works. But everything else, when you're just the Navi traversing, it's like you feel slow. You don't feel, you know, like you're connected to the area around you. You just feel like a normal person running. So yeah. And it can be very slow, so it's just like then you just want to get back on your Ikran and it's just like finally I can get somewhere fast. So yeah. I mean, other than all that, I would probably rate the game about 6 or 7, 6.5 or 7 out of 10. Like, I mean, I know I said probably a lot of bad things about the game, but at the end of the day, the game is pretty fun. I mean, I enjoyed it enough to 100% it, so yeah, I liked playing through the game. I will say though, the main thing keeping me coming back to the game is probably just the fact that it's an Avatar game because I like Avatar the movie, the 2 movies. I like them both, and so that's probably the main reason why I kept coming back to the game if it wasn't Avatar, because it does feel just like a Far Cry but with Avatar. If it wasn't Avatar, I probably wouldn't 100% it, but I mean, it is still a fun game, and I did enjoy it a lot. So yeah, that's my final review on the game. I do like that you don't have to do every single side quest in order to 100% game, because oh my god, if I did that, I would actually cry. So yeah. Yeah, that's all I have to say for this game. My final rating is about 6.5, 7 out of 10. It's a pretty good game. I would say it's definitely worth a play, but I wouldn't say make it like your main priority game to play because it's definitely not one of those games. It's not like, oh my god, I've been waiting for this game for years. It's like, no, it's like, this is a fun game. I'll play it in my spare time. Like, it's a good thing to play. But yeah, anyway guys, that is going to do it for today's episode on Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Let me know if you guys have played this game and if you guys enjoyed it, and what your final rating would be for the game. Of course, always make sure to like, hit the subscribe button, and click the notification bell so notified every time I do a video. Subscribing is the best way to support me as a YouTuber. And you can always unsubscribe if you want down the line, if you find that you don't actually enjoy watching my content or anything. And of course, it's all free, which is great because not many things are in the modern world. So yeah. Of course, on top of that, liking and commenting lets me know that you enjoyed this series and you want me to do some more things like that. Of course, always use the comment section if you want to tell me, if you want to like tell me any games that you'd like me to play, or just want to say thank you or anything like that. So yeah. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. So, without further ado, for the last time in Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, because I am not getting the DLCs, I'm sorry. I do not want to get those DLCs. I'm done with this game. This is it for this game. I'm done. But anyway, guys, for the last time in Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, I will see you guys in the next episode of whatever series goes on my channel. So, yeah. Goodbye.